In this video, we're going to take a look at the Boss Katana amp as it applies to Fingerstyle Guitarist. Jim Ferris here, sharing my love of Fingerstyle guitar and helping you grow as a player. The Boss Katana came out several years ago, and there's been a lot of press about it and a lot of opinions offered about it. Some are very favorable and some just think it's the worst thing man's ever created. So I thought I'd talk about it a little bit. I've been using one for several years now. And so I thought I'd share my experiences with you and talk about some of the pros and cons of it. I bought mine because I had also recently purchased a Godin A6 Ultra, which had a magnetic pickup in it and a acoustic piezo, under the saddle piezo pickup in it, and I wanted something to use with that, and it did a good job of that. And I think that cover that describes one of the strengths and one of the weaknesses of this amp. You can use it in multiple applications for different kind of guitars. As you just saw in the little intro, I have those both set up. I have the clean channel with a little bit of reverb, a little digital delay, just running through the controls, no computer stuff, and didn't change any settings, switching between the acoustic and electric guitar. And it did a pretty reasonable job of that, I think. And then, of course, if you tweak it more for the specific instrument, it'll sound even better. But that's its strength, I think, is it can be used in multiple applications with different types of instruments. The downside of it is I think there are other amps that are dedicated to a specific type of guitar that'll work better. When I play acoustic guitar out, I have a Carvin little mini PA rig, which has woofer and tweeter and all kinds of stuff like that, but it's dedicated specifically to making acoustic guitars sound good, and it does a great job of it. I love it. If I was, on the other hand, if I was going to be playing electric guitar out only, I might opt for a different amp than this, than the Katana. But if I'm going to take both guitars and do some of both, you just can't beat it, you know. So that's the big strength. Other strengths of them are they're inexpensive. I mean, yeah, even new, they're inexpensive, and of course there are a ton of them on the used market now, because they've been out for a few years. Another good pro, I guess we could say, is you can get, there's been a lot said about people having to hook it up to the computer and all this, and yeah, you can access a lot more tones by doing that, but you can also just run it like a traditional amp, and it's a good clean amp, and kind of in the vein of Roland Jazz Chorus or something like that. A good clean solid state amp, which is actually a little more tubey sounding than a lot of solid state amps. So that works great, and if you want to put pedals in front of it, from what I've read, that it seems to handle those well. So, so it's a good clean amp as is. It has a USB out on it, so you can plug it into their computer and use their Boss Tone Studio, where you can access a lot more effects, a lot more amps, preamp type things is how I think of them, digital preamps. So you can get a big range of tones like that. And then, of course, using outboard pedals. One of the things that makes it good relating to that, which is a real pro in my opinion, is if you're somebody like me that's primarily been an acoustic guitarist and is doing more electric guitar stuff, it lets you access a lot of Boss's pedals, effects pedals, without having to buy the effects pedal. In other words, I can experiment with compressors and different reverbs and digital delays, all kinds of things that would be applicable to a solo fingerstyle instrumentalist. And then, of course, if you're playing more pop and rock, that kind of thing, there are a lot of effects that are available to use there. So to me, that's a cost-saving thing, rather than having to buy a pedal, find out I don't like it, then resell it and take a loss on it. This lets me experiment with them. And I think that that's a real good attribute of the amp. It has both a line out and a USB out, so you can run the line, use it as a monitor live and run the line out to the PA, or you can run it into a audio interface for recording if you've got a home studio set up, and that works really well. For me, because I live in a noisy environment with a lot of people cutting grass and barking dogs and car stereos and that kind of thing, being able to close mic things or run direct really helps me with video creation. So if you're doing that sort of thing too, I think this can be a good option. Another strength of it, I think, is if you're playing live and you're working in a downtown area or somewhere where you can't, where there's not a dedicated spot to park and load in, the lightweight of this it really helps. You can, grab it and your guitar and walk in a couple of blocks for anybody in reasonable health is not a big deal. Also, if you have to park on a gravel parking lot, even if you have a dolly and load your gear on the dolly, rolling it across the gravel parking lot is a big pain in the rear. So having something lightweight like this is a real plus, I think. And overall, I think it's pretty sturdily made. If you're tossing it around or you put it in the back of your truck and it's banging around loose, it could get banged up pretty good. But it's made of that, I think it's called MPF. It's where they take wood fibers and impregnate it with rosin and make kind of fake wood out of it, and that they then construct things with. And that stuff looks like it's pretty sturdy, not as sturdy as more traditional material, but it's also a lot lighter, and that's where the lightweight comes from. I saw a video while I was doing a little research for this of a fella who had gotten one on a trade, and he took it all apart to clean it and that sort of thing. And I'll link that below so you can see how they're put together and if you think it's sturdy enough for what your uses of it are going to be. Now, the downside of it to me is if you bought it used or if you've bought it new and it's gone out of warranty. I think it's got like a 2-year warranty on it. getting it repaired may be difficult if you have to send it back to a authorized rolling repair facility, or if you take it to an independent repairman and he's got access parts and that sort of thing. It may be cost prohibitive to do that. It might be cheaper to just replace it. And so if you're not somebody that likes disposable throwaway things, that might keep it from appealing to you. And also if you're a real tone purist, and even though when they're sneaky amps, which is presets that you can download so you have additional preamp type sounds, there is one for say a Fender Deluxe Reverb. Well, it may be good, but it's not going to sound exactly like a Deluxe Reverb. So if you're a real tone purist, this may not be the thing for you. So short recap: if you play clean and play acoustic and electric guitar, need something for a pedal platform, want to experiment with different effects, need something lightweight. Those are all attributes to it. It'd be worth your while to look into. If you've got to sound like a specific amp and that's the only sound that'll satisfy you, probably not for you. So that's my take on it. Love to know if you have had any experiences with it, what your experiences have been. And I'll also include a link to Amazon. I'm an Amazon associate, so if you make a purchase through my link, I'll make $1 or $2, which always helps. And I think that's about it for this video. Thanks for hanging out. If you like this, give me a thumbs up. If you hadn't subscribed, consider subscribing. And I'll see you in the next video.